Uh-huh.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of the Cucco Attack. I'm Chad Hembrock. With me, as always, is Patrick Hughes, and we
Hello.
are coming to you about a week and a half out of E3. So that's what today's episode is going to focus on. There's a lot of news that's been kind of trickling out over the last few weeks with the anticipation of the biggest gaming week of the year, typically. So, yeah, we'll get into that in a second. First, what have you been playing, Patrick? How have you been?
It's been good. It's been good. Getting hyped for E3. Getting on the hype train. Yeah. But yeah, what have I been playing lately? Been playing some Hearthstone because of the latest expansion, which has been pretty fun. It's if you've played the previous expansions, it's pretty similar with the kind of roguelike dungeon crawling. There goes Chad's camera.
You're good. The one recording's not affected.
Okay.
It's all good.
But yeah, so it's kind of like roguelike still, but they had some cool little changes with this particular adventure mode in that um if you don't happen to win, you at least gain some like progress and like your decks get stronger, so the next time you play it's a little easier. And they have these cool like mid segment sections where after you play a few matches you go to like a barkeeper who gives you some coins and you can like trade them for new cards to put into your deck as you progress through the run. So it's kind of fun.
Never played it.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
I
a
don't
lot
know.
about it.
Yeah.
It's just something that I never got into.
It's a free to play game, but it's a game that has like a lot of polish and you can enjoy a lot of it for very little. So I've been enjoying it.
Cool. Yeah, I remember you were
Um,
playing it like a few years ago when we were waiting outside for like amiibos and stuff. So, I
yep.
mean, you've definitely been into it for a while. So,
Yeah, yeah. They keep updating with new cards, and those daily quests get you to keep playing, so it's fun.
cool.
And let's see, what have I been playing on Switch? Most recently, I got a game because it was on sale called Yono and the Celestial Elephant. It's kind of like very beginner's Zelda. It's very easy. It's
Hmm.
not no challenge at all, but it's cute and it's fun. You just
Kind of
play as this elephant pushing blocks and it's got like an isometric view. But it's pretty fun. I think I'll probably beat it pretty soon. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be that long of a game, so
yeah.
but it's cool because you like as an elephant you like blow stuff with your trunk and like suck up peanuts and shoot them out or water and blow it on fire and stuff or water wheels and so it's got some clever puzzles in it. So
Cool.
yeah. And yeah, what have you been playing?
Uh not much really. It's I've been playing a little bit of Tetris 99 again. I bought the DLC Big Block kit. I think I talked about that last time.
Yeah.
So I pick that up every now and then and play marathon mode a few times. And other than that, I've been really wanting to get into some classic PS1 games. um, really, Symphony of the Night. I've owned the disc for the longest time, but I just didn't want to mess with the load times or anything like that. And
Yeah.
I picked up this guy, the little classic, which is pretty bad. It's as pretty bad as everything said. But so when it came out for $100, I was like, "There's no way I'm buying this for $100." And the next week it was $80 or something like that. Still was like, no, I'm not gonna buy it for 80. Then it dropped to 60, and then it was down to 40. And I was kind of like, if it gets to like $20, I'll grab one. And then at $40, Target had a cartwheel deal, which knocked 35% off of that. So after tax, I got it for $26 and some change, I think, or $27. So
That's crazy to think. Like, what it's been like? Has it even been 6 months yet since that released?
I don't remember when it came out. It was before Christmas.
Yeah, it was like November or December, I
Yeah,
think.
it was like the end of November. It was like around Black Friday, and they did
And
not
it's
move.
already been marked down like 75%.
Yeah, so it was yeah, it's pretty crazy how quick it dropped. But I mean, I loaded it up and really nothing I was on there that I wanted to play at all. And and I kind of knew that going into it, but then I knew that you can hack it and add games to it pretty easily. So I've been toying around with that a little bit. Like I said, I have Symphony of the Night on my PS1, but the load times are kind of like I really don't want to. I don't want to mess with the discs and read times and stuff like that. So
Right.
um, so it's up there, and I just haven't messed with it. But I did go back and play some of the games that I used to play as a kid, like Resident Evil and um, Crash isn't on there, but like just talking about Crash because that's the biggest problem. Like you can't have a PlayStation One classic without Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
But looking back at it and trying to play Crash Bandicoot now, that game sucks. It's so bad. And even like I bought the remastered version for Switch because I was like I remember it and my wife likes the game and I just don't like it. That forward and like running forward, not being able to see what's coming up on you, and
Mhm.
the perspective of like I don't
It's a
know.
main game.
It's different. I remember yeah, I can't talk. I remember enjoying it more when it first came out, but I mean, games have come a long way since Crash Bandicoot. So, but I just don't feel that PS1 3D games stand up or hold up as well as
Yeah.
I mean even Nintendo like
Yeah,
N60
no.
N64 games like really outside of like Mario 64 and like Ocarina of Time nothing really holds up. I mean, I'm sure there's a couple more examples there that can be used, but just that's just my personal feeling. So, but that's pretty much been it for me. I haven't really played much. I've actually been playing around on my arcade machine a little bit too, and just kind of cleaning that up. Um, Trying to get a better interface running on that thing with the Raspberry Pi, and trying to get better compatibility and better performance. So a few nights of the last couple weekends, I've been messing with that a little bit. Actually, I messed with it a little bit before we got on the call. So,
Cool.
um, but yeah, other than that, that's about it. Hanging
All
out
right.
and wishing I could play more games when I'm not doing anything. So,
Yeah. Actually, I remembered one more game I played, and that was just because I am so excited for Mario Maker 2. I busted out my Wii U and decided I'm gonna hook it back up and play the original Mario Maker.
yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Man, yeah, I forgot how like frustrating it was to like hook that back up. I was like, God, the gamepad's not charged.
That was the
I've
worst.
and then I was like, the Wii U needed the internet code because I haven't put in a new code since it was last hooked up from when I moved. I'm like, oh gosh, now I got to do that again. Like by the time I started playing, it was like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, I remember playing the first time I had an issue with the gamepad being dead, and like me off so much because I had no idea that the gamepad even mattered. I was playing Super Mario 3D World, and I was in like the tank level, like near the end of the game.
Okay,
So it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the little like tanks are moving and you're jumping,
Hmm.
and it was a little frustrating. There's some spots where I was just like screwing up, and
Yeah, it's the end of the game. So.
Yeah, so I go to jump, and as soon as I go to make this jump that I've been like having issues with, it pops up on the screen. Gamepad battery is dead. Please charge gamepad. And I'm like, I'm not even using the gamepad. I was literally using a Wiimote, and it told me that I was so and like had no clue that you had to have that thing fully charged, especially if I wasn't using it. I was like, why does this matter? This is so stupid. That was probably my biggest issue with the Wii U, other than like it being called the Wii U,
Yeah,
which was its main problem.
but yeah, the kind of forced gamepad, like when you aren't using it, is just so annoying.
Yeah.
But playing Mario Maker again, I was like, yep, this is pretty much what I remember. Lots of auto scroll levels and weird nonsense and
I hope. I'm so glad there's a filter. I just hope it works.
yeah.
So, and I was hoping I could play with you online, but yeah, that's not gonna happen now.
Yeah, it's hot news that I play with friends online.
And no amiibo support.
And no amiibo support.
Following up from our last
I'm
episode.
slowly coming to acceptance with, only because I realized it probably proved some challenges with multiplayer. So
yeah, they could always add costumes in too later and
I think
stuff
so.
like that. I mean, they've already got such a like arrangement from the last game. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'm sure those assets can just be reused. I don't see why they wouldn't be able to. But
there were a lot of weird sponsored ones that I don't know if they'd be able to keep using and stuff, but like Nissan car and like these Japanese pop idols and stuff.
yeah.
but yeah. All right. Well, we ready to get into the E3 hype?
Yeah, man. Take it away.
All right. I figure the easiest way to do this is we just kind of go day by day of what's kind of going down, and we can talk about what we are interested in. But yeah, E3 kind of seems to creep up a little earlier and earlier each year. And
I'll allow
it. And most of the festivities begin on Saturday, June 8th. There is EA is technically not having a press conference this year, but they are still doing their own thing where there more than likely be some announcements of new EA games. They're recently released Apex Legends that what do you call it? Shooting game. What's the term? Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah. I was like, Fortnite? What are you talking about?
I don't know why I'm blanking. That was the term.
It's okay.
So might talk about that. Anthem, maybe not. I don't know. It's kind of bombed pretty badly.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Apex goes to Switch because it's mobile and all that stuff. So
I definitely could see them doing that.
If it's playing on a phone, there's no reason why I can't play on a Switch. So.
And then probably the most anticipated game everyone wants to hear about is their new Star Wars game, which was called Fallen Order. So.
And that's the one they're working on now after scraping like the last two. They like scrapped two of the last ones. They got canceled or something like that.
Yeah, it has some history behind this.
Yeah, but this one's supposed to be backed by like Disney and everyone, right? Isn't this supposed to be?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be like a single-player, story-driven game still.
Yeah.
But
I think the last one of those I ever played for Star Wars was like, jeez, I know I played the Phantom Menace on PS1 back in the day. That was probably the last single player one I played, like as far as like the newest. But other than that, my favorite was always Shadows of the Empire.
Okay.
Or maybe Dark Forces back on PC, like years ago, but
some episode 1 pod racing.
Now the arcade pod racer was pretty cool. Using the little like I hit the mic, oh well. But yeah, using the little things to race, that was pretty neat. But
They should bring that. They should bring that to Switch and use the Joy Cons and twist and feel the HD rumble.
that'd be very interesting. So yeah, EA is like EA's weird. Like they annoy me so much because there's their support for Switch is really frustrating.
It's pretty awful.
Really, all they're giving us is FIFA, and I understand that FIFA is like the biggest game outside of America, even though a lot of people play it, here. But
Yeah.
There's no Madden, which would I get Madden? Probably not. But there's no hockey either, and it's like I don't care if it's even like a slimmed down version of hockey, but like just give me hockey. Give me a hockey game. Like if I have a hockey game, I have zero reason to keep my Xbox One. And that's all I want is a hockey game. Something I can just play in bed, play 3 5-minute quick periods before going to sleep, and that way I'll actually finish an 82 game season one day. It's so annoying. So that's what I'm hopeful for from EA. I really hope that they'll give us some sort of support for Switch with Madden and NHL. NHL being the priority for me, but even if they did just Madden, it'd be like, all right, they'll do Madden, and then hopefully it'll sell well, and then maybe we'll get NHL for next season.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, I think there's always a chance. Like the Switch sales continue to climb at just like an astronomical rate. So
yeah, I mean
it's been 2 years now. So
it's 2 years and what, like 30 something million.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's already like past, I think, what, PS4 sales or something.
It's past PS4 sales in Japan.
Okay.
But worldwide, PS4 is like
yeah.
That was definitely the system of the generation. So that I don't have. But I've been very tempted to get one. I think if one came up for the right price, I'd probably grab one just to have it. But I'm so skeptical of buying like used, like newer generation consoles because there's always problems with them dying. Like since the 360, like 360s, PS3s, always die. And then like Xbox One, it's because most people like jam them in entertainment centers and they overheat, and people just don't take care of their stuff. So I have a really hard time, like, even if it's like $150, it's kind of like, do I really want to buy it secondhand? I'd rather just spend the extra $100 and get it out of the box new. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm really I know we're not going to hear anything about it because Sony's not there, but I'd love to hear more about the PS5 and its backwards compatibility.
Yeah, no. That is a strong rumor, and that would definitely entice a lot of people.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, if that goes PS4 backwards compatibility, I think I'm a day one purchase of that, just because I kind of told myself after I built my last PC I would never buy another console that wasn't Nintendo. But at the same time, I missed so many exclusives for PlayStation 4. I think it'd be worth it. Just for like, Spider-Man, Horizon, some of the other, the Last of Us games. Like, I've never played any of those. So yeah, the God of War games.
You would really like that Until Dawn game. That's like right up your alley. It's like a choose your own adventure horror spoof.
Yeah. Yeah, that's is that the one where the guy's like walking through the school in the trailer?
Oh no, not that one.
I forgot what that was called, but that looks straight up like a Jason
I forget
movie.
What that's called too.
but yeah, yeah. So come on, EA, let's get some hockey. Let's get some hockey. Went off on a tangent there. I apologize.
We'll see. No. And the other thing that's happening June 8th, which is not really like any news or stuff, but Nintendo will be hosting a whole bunch of tournaments that day, starting with Mario Maker Invitational, Splatoon 2, and then Smash Brothers. So those should be some pretty fun events to watch if you got nothing going on.
Yeah, the Mario Maker one would be cool. Like,
Yeah.
I typically don't watch those things, but we talked about it last time with the just watching professional players just
Mm-hmm.
destroy and figure out stages. It's
Yeah.
it's always neat. So
It'll be interesting if they do it like staggered like they did before, or if they're going to try to push this new multiplayer and actually have them all racing at the same time.
yeah,
So,
that'd be a good way to do it.
yeah.
First one to get it wins, but I could see that everyone cries about
Yeah.
everyone cries about randomness when playing competitively. So I can see that being like, oh, it's not fair. He bumped me in a hole, and so.
But knowing Nintendo, that's probably what they'll do.
Yeah, hopefully, just to spite those people.
Yeah. You think there'd be any news? Smash character reveals during the tournament, or would they save that for their press conference?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that'd be a good platform to do it.
Yeah.
They could definitely just do a sneak, new challenger approaches, and they could even maybe have that as like the final battle or something. You have to play as one of the new DLC characters or something like that.
That'd be cool.
That'd be neat.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, you're gonna play as Banjo, or you're gonna play as, Carano, some other person that has a sword. Dude, a 3D Carano would be so weird in Smash.
Yeah, I don't know if that would fit.
Yeah. No, it wasn't.
Just stylistically.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see that. I could see something going there. Will it happen? I don't know, but I think it'd be a good platform to do it.
Yeah,
for sure.
It has potential.
Yeah.
But moving on, next is June 9th, Sunday. Starts with a Microsoft press conference. So, most of the big games that people are expecting from them are the next Halo Infinite and Gears 5. So, I mean, that's pretty much Microsoft. Those are their names.
Did you ever play Gears of War? Was that anything you've ever been into?
I played one of them with my brother. I think it was Gears 2. It's fun. It's I don't think I could be into like the entire series. Like, you played one, it kind of feels like the same game each time.
Yeah.
But it has some fun mechanics. I really like the like reloading mechanic in that game. How you can like press it at a certain time and then reload faster and get like a power boost. It feels very satisfying for some reason.
I played. I think it was the first one, and the first one was on 360, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was the 360, but I remember, or maybe it was Gears 3. I thought it was the first one, but anyway, I got it. Was all excited to play it, and I think I had played through like the first level, and then I ejected it and didn't play it again. The game felt, to me, I didn't like the third person over the shoulder look, and then I didn't like using like objects for cover.
Yeah, it's very cover based.
I had such a hard time seeing where I was being shot from in that game, because everything was like dark and like,
oh yeah,
it just felt like there was so much detail going around that it was just, I don't know. For me, I didn't like it. It turned me off immediately. And I like shooters. I mean, especially at that time. At that time, I was playing Counter-Strike like constantly, but for whatever reason, Counter-Strike still felt superior. Still feels superior to most games I play. But yeah, I don't know. That was I just feel like some of the shooters now. Maybe I just suck and I'm an old man. But yeah.
Did you play it by yourself or with someone else?
I played it with a friend,
okay.
and we just played through the first level, and I was just kind of like, this game sucks. And I think the first time I played it, I didn't like it, and then we tried playing it, and we were both just kind of like, you want to keep playing? And we were both like, no. And we just turned it off. It was in college. But on the same time, like, we both played Halo 3 on Legendary, and it was great. Had so much fun playing that. Like, I remember us, every day as soon as like we got home from school or whatever, it was just Halo 3 until, one of us had to go to sleep. So I think we beat it in like 2 nights. It's like 2 or 3 nights we just knocked it out. But that was the last time I really played a Halo game and enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But playing it
Man.
co-op was just so cool. That game is so much better co-op.
Co-op makes a world of difference for both of them. And
Yeah.
if you're playing both at the same time, they have different various styles, so I can see why you would probably gravitate to Halo more.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see what this new Halo game's like. I haven't really enjoyed a Halo game. I mean, Halo's not really the same anymore because
yeah.
it's not Bungie making it. But I mean, that's probably why I like Destiny so much because it felt so much like Halo. At least the first one, and then the second one just kind of tapered off, which is kind of the way I was in the Halo series. Honestly, like I love the first one. I didn't really like the second one, and then I got back into third one because I played it with my buddies. So, um, yeah, that's I can. Well, we'll see what the new one is. I mean, I did pick up the Master Chief Collection for Xbox One.
Mhm.
And actually that's the only reason I own a second controller for my Xbox One is because my buddy came over and we were gonna run through Halo 1. So I went and bought another controller at GameStop, and we tried playing through Halo 1, and a door wouldn't open. We were on like the second like part of the game inside of like this base, and we killed everything. We ran everywhere, just the two of us, and we were literally just walking the entire place inch by inch, looking for something to kill or somewhere to leave, and there was nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's probably some like grunt stuck in a wall or
Well,
something.
that game was released with so many bugs.
I heard.
Like,
Yeah, it was
yes.
bug riddled.
So I'm pretty sure that's what the problem was because it was like launch week when we were trying to play it. And honestly, since then, I've never turned it back on. And that was literally like the week it came out. I just never turned the game back on again. So, but I still would like to go back and play it though. I mean, I always had a lot of fun playing those games. I mean, especially you know playing like deathmatch and capture the flag, stuff like that. That was a lot of
Yeah.
fun, and it always
I
gives
played
me.
so much in college with my roommates, just team or just deathmatch in general. My favorite map was the ice one, the snow one. I think it was Lockdown. I think it was called.
Mhm.
That's my favorite, like one of my favorite multiplayer maps of any game. I think it's just so well designed. Just the asymmetrical design of it, so much fun.
I always love.
Sniping people from the tower, getting the sword.
I always loved Blood Gold. That one's so good. And then of course Red versus Blue from
Oh yeah,
oh, so
those
good.
videos.
Yeah. Those were like that was like every day in high school. It was like, oh man, a new Red versus Blue. Yeah. So that was good stuff.
um, Now there's some juicy rumors. I don't know if these have much credibility, but since Microsoft and Nintendo have been so buddy buddy, what if the Halo collection was to come to Switch?
That would be awesome. Like honestly, I would be so happy about that, especially if it had like crossplay, so you could like
Oh yeah.
play with either PC. Because I know like Halo, they'd have to re-release the entire collection, but if the Master Collection's out on Xbox One, and if you could play online, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I would love to see. I've mentioned this before. I never liked Banjo-Kazooie, but I want to play it again and better graphics and better controls. So it would be cool to see Rare Replay come out.
That'd be awesome.
I don't see why
I think
it wouldn't. It doesn't make
yeah,
sense why it couldn't be there, considering
I
like
think it could definitely at least a lot of the games on the Rare Replay could. Maybe they'd take a few out or something. I don't
yeah,
know,
but
but
like half of those games on the Rare Replay, they were all Nintendo titles, like NES or N64 titles anyway. So like
didn't really go
Battle
that far back.
Battletoads, RC Pro Am,
Yeah, yeah.
Um, you've got was Perfect Dark, I think, was on there too.
I think Perfect Dark was there.
Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie.
Hmm. I think
Yes.
I think it even had the Xbox nuts and bolts one.
Yeah, it did. And there was some other stuff too. I don't remember, but yeah, I mean, just top of my head right there, RC Pro-Am. Like, I didn't even realize that was a rare title, and that game was awesome.
There's
Like
a lot of
for
games.
NES.
Viva
So,
Pinata. Yeah.
so it would be it'd be cool to see that come to Switch.
Hmm.
Just to see. And then I think if they do announce that, if they announce Rare Replay, we're gonna get Banjo and Smash. Or if they announce Banjo and Smash, we're gonna get Rare Replay. I think
Yeah.
they kind of go hand in hand.
At one director or the other, they'll announce each.
Yeah, I think that's there. But they'll probably. I mean, Microsoft will definitely talk about their cloud
Oh,
as well.
yeah, they should definitely like announce Rare Replay at Xbox. And then during the Nintendo conference, it looks like they're showing the Rare Replay announcement again, and then it just transitions into Banjo for Smash.
To getting his invitation, and he's gonna
Yeah.
be like, "Oh." Like,
And
yeah,
he's just like gulp.
yeah. Eats the
Basic.
invitation, and
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be great.
And then
So,
just like taking it out and smacking it in the
but if they
arm.
announce it, they need to announce. They need to. I would
But
love to see them announce it with the intro from N64, like a remastered version of the intro. Like obviously not with the N logo spinning, but just show like the little like firefly coming in, and then to show it drop, and then you see them pop up all stupid. Like that'd be such a great way to announce the game. So, but
uh,
we'll see. I mean, like I was starting to say, they'll talk about the Project Cloud too, and there was the rumor of that they want to make Project Cloud available for Switch, PS4, iOS, everything.
yeah,
So
everything.
um,
Microsoft's just everybody's friend now.
yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. If we
Yeah.
get Project Cloud on, I think iOS is pretty much guaranteed, and App Store stuff like that, Google Play.
Mhm.
Um, but if Xbox can get their streaming on a competitor's hardware, like that's huge, and that basically is gonna be them bowing out of the console race.
Pretty much. That's the
So
one weird part about that. But I mean, hey, if they're selling software, more software, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah. And
so
their Xbox Live subscriptions. So
yeah, man, it's all about the platform these days. I mean,
yeah.
you can,
Surfaces.
yeah, dude, seriously, like the Surface is a great device, so it's
uh,
bigger, so.
yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, I think
So
that pretty much covers Microsoft.
pretty much. It'll also be interesting to see if anything develops out of those like 4 studios they bought last year. I don't know if any of them would have games ready for this E3, but it will definitely be something to keep an eye on. And I think the last rumor that it's not really Microsoft, but it's rumored to be announced at Microsoft's press conference is the director from Game of Thrones has been collaborating with From Software on a new project. So those are two pretty big names. It'll be interesting to see these two big names who are known for having no mercy for their audiences. So, but yes, moving on later during that day would also be the Bethesda conference. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what new they would have the show. They've already confirmed that they will not be talking about the new Elder Scrolls or that Starfield game that they announced last year. Those are not ready to be shown yet. So I guess that leaves Doom
Doom.
Eternal.
Yeah.
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 Maybe Wolfenstein, which is almost ready to come out.
Yeah.
There, that, yeah.
It's a shame. Like I don't know, Bethesda to me, I've like never enjoyed any of Bethesda's games, and like I hate saying that because like people love them, but they're just not for me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And like I did start playing the new Doom, and it's fun, but again, it's just one of those things where it just doesn't pull me in, and I don't know if it's just me being older and just kind of over Doom, because I've been playing Doom since I was like a kid, playing it at like my dad's like 486 at work or whatever, and then like his coworker coming in and being like IDDQD, IDKFA, and like giving me the God mode and all the guns and stuff. So like I don't know. I played a lot of Doom on Mac, Doom 2 on Mac, because that's what I had growing up was a Macintosh Performa, and I didn't like Elder Scroll games. I played Oblivion. I think that was the only one I ever played, and I just didn't like it. I played it for like an hour and a half, collected everything, filled my inventory up, not knowing that I didn't need to pick up everything. Because I'm so used to Zelda games in the past where you just pick up everything and then it doesn't matter, or if you don't need it, you can't pick it up. So when I first played that, I was kind of like, oh, I just picked up like 100 bones in the castle, and then I escaped the castle and talked to a drifter, and the drifter killed me, and I was like, well, this sucked. Just wasted an hour of my time. So I never went back. I've heard they're great games though. I don't know. I heard Skyrim's awesome, like from multiple people. After my Oblivion experience, I didn't even want to try Skyrim. So
yeah, I'm the same way though. I never could really get into those games. I don't know if it's something about like the animation or just like
it looks kind of weird.
Style.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's kind of like muddy. Like everything's kind of muddy looking and just like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but I've kind of just I don't look at it and be like, "Ooh, I really want to play that." Like nothing's pulled me in. I mean, seeing Doom get remade, seeing Wolfenstein, stuff like that. It's like they look great. They look beautiful, but they just don't do it for me. They don't spark that fire. So, and like I was saying, it's a shame because they're local. They're a local company, and I have looked at like job openings at Bethesda, but it's like, yeah, what would I go there? Oh, what games did you like from Bethesda during the job interview? Be like, I hate them all. They all suck. Like. It's just funny.
I would just say nice things and not mention that I don't play them. No.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just one of those things I found kind of funny, but but yeah, they're like one of the only local game developers in the area.
Not much on the East Coast.
Yeah, I had a friend that used to test, like he was a tester for like he tested Wolfenstein. His name's in the credits and stuff, and.
That's cool.
For like the first one, but he said it was, it was definitely interesting because you're like a contractor. You're not like, actually hired there. So, but anyway, that's enough of that.
Yeah, it will still be interesting to see what their press conference shapes up being because, no pun intended, but they have a lot of fallout to clean up after that awful
76.
Fallout 76.
Yeah, so. I could see them doing a Fallout. One of the Fallouts for Switch. I could see that being announced.
True.
Like Fallout 3 or something.
With the Switch, so maybe one of the older games.
Yeah, because people want them.
Known to be good. So.
Yeah, people want a Fallout game on Switch, so it's
a smart idea.
Yeah.
All right.
Never played any of those either. Heard they're really good, but just didn't do it.
Kind of the same thing as Skyrim, I don't know, same style, just sci-fi.
Yeah.
Moving on, June 10th, there's the PC gaming show. I don't know if anything big has ever come out of that, but that exists. Yes.
Half-Life 3. This is the year.
This is the year. All the threes are coming.
Threes. Yes. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. 2019, 9 divided by 3 is 3. It's coming. Yeah, I want it to happen so bad.
Yeah. It's sad as such a joke now, but yeah.
It is. Anyway.
Also, June 10th is the Ubisoft press conference. That's more widely known. And they usually have some pretty big games to talk about. I don't think they'll have an Assassin's Creed this year because they said there's no Assassin's Creed coming out 2019, so they probably won't show anything.
I mean, they just released Odyssey.
Yeah.
That was like...
I mean, they've been on a pretty rapid cycle, but they're slowing down, they said, for this next one, so...
Yeah.
But they do have other series still, like Watch Dogs and Tom Clancy games.
I heard Watch Dogs is pretty good. I never played that either. But I heard it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one where you like hack everything with your phone, right?
Yeah. So kind of like Grand Theft Auto meets Hacker. I don't know.
Yeah. I heard it was pretty good.
And then be very interested if they show off more of Beyond Good and Evil 2, just because they haven't shown any gameplay yet, and what they've shown behind closed doors and have described is very ambitious sounding. So maybe it'll be time to kind of show that off to the public.
I played the first couple hours of the first one on my computer.
I love that game. So good.
They had it for free through the like Ubisoft, their like game launcher. So I grabbed that. It was like Beyond Good and Evil 2, Rayman Legends, maybe.
Beyond Good and Evil 1.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil 1. Did I say 2?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Beyond Good and Evil 1, and it was like Rayman. I think it was Rayman Legends, and then there was some other game.
That's a good. Yeah.
I think it was like some racing game. I forgot what it's called, but Beyond.
It's been a while since we had a Rayman game too. Just speaking of which, so maybe that's gonna be something cool.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil was it was definitely fun, but I felt like trying to play such an older game on the PC didn't work very well.
Yeah.
It didn't feel right. It felt like laggy or something, and there were some complaints online about that version being kind of messed up. So, needless to say, all I really did was like the first fight, and then kind of went through the tree house or the like little lab or whatever the beginning.
That lighthouse area.
Yeah, the lighthouse thing, and just kind of gathered what I was supposed to do there. Grabbed like a couple discs and then ran around and.
I did pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I played like an hour and a half of it or so, and I wanted to play more, but it just didn't run right for whatever reason, and I just didn't look into it too much. But
maybe I could load you my GameCube copy one time.
Yeah, I think the only reason I even looked into it was because of the announcement of Part 2. And then I was like, oh, let me check out the first one, and then it was free, so I grabbed it.
I'm seriously doubting the more I hear about it, like how this will be anything like the first game. So
yeah,
but it's so exciting. But yeah, the first game's so good. It's such a fun like mix of like gameplay styles of like photography and like Zelda puzzles and racing and just all sorts of game styles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd be, now you made me think Rayman, that'd be cool, or just anything with that Ubi art engine. I don't know if you remember like when they were doing that new like cartoon art engine, looks so good with like the new Rayman games. They had Valiant Hearts and Child of Light and all those games that just had that beautiful 2D aesthetic. It's been such a long time since they've done anything with that.
Yeah. I haven't played a Rayman game in a long time. I played a little bit of the first one on PS1, and I played the one that was on the Wii. The Wii U.
That one's great. That's so good.
Well, I'll tell you, the last one I actually put a lot of time into is the stupid Rabbids on Wii, on the first Wii, and yeah, that was not Rayman at all. So then I did play the demo. I think I played the demo of Rayman. Was that Legends?
The one on first Wii U came out was Origins, and then Wii U was Legends.
Okay, I don't know.
Wii U was Legends.
I have one of them on the PC, and I played one of them on the Wii U, and I think I played one of them on the Apple TV at the Apple Store. It was like a demo of it, and I played it for like I don't know, like 10 minutes, and was just kind of like, this is Rayman. Like I could see it being fun. It's a decent platformer. It seems like it'd be alright.
yeah, that is Ubisoft. We'll see what they have to show. And then ending that night would be Square Enix. And yeah, I think everyone's very anticipated to see that of the new Final Fantasy VII remake since they showed off that tease at the PlayStation Direct, or sorry, State of Play. Yes. But yeah, more than likely they'll be showing. Well, they said they're showing more Final Fantasy in June, so this will most likely be at their press conference, and I imagine they'll show the likes of Tifa, which they have not shown yet, how she will look in this new Super HD up-res look. And maybe even get a release date for the first episode, because they said this is episodic.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and that's all
people
they've
might be
shown
playing
so
this,
far is
yeah.
like all they've shown so far is like the opening scene of the game, or like the opening part. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I would love for them to announce a Chrono Trigger port for Switch, as long as it's not the mobile version that got ported to PC and was garbage.
Yes.
Either give. I personally feel the Super Nintendo version is superior, but I know a lot of people like the DS version because it kind of added like the cutscenes and stuff like that. They fixed some of the translation errors. I like the feel of the Super Nintendo version better. I like the controls. The buttons I think were swapped in the DS version, so it kind of threw me off.
Interesting.
Like hitting A was kind of the control for everything, but then I think on the DS everything was B. Just something stupid like that. It just felt weird to me. I don't know if you could change it or not. I might have been able to, but I need to go back and play it. I started playing it like a year or two ago, and as I was playing it, turned off my Super Nintendo, and when I turned it back on, my save was deleted because I didn't
Oh man.
because I didn't put in a new battery into the cart. So I erased about 8 hours of it, I think, something like that.
That's pretty
It was like
bad. That's pretty bad.
between like 6 and 8 hours of the game, and I already made it to like where you time travel and stuff. So I was getting pretty deep into it, and I was like enjoying it, playing it every night. It was like bringing me back to when I was a kid, and for me to sit down and play an RPG again is very difficult. So, like, especially something like Chrono Trigger, but that game's just always stuck with me. It hit me at the right time. The story was, I just love the story, the time travel, everything was just so cool, and it was the first RPG I actually beat. Is the first one that held my attention enough where I was like, I will sit here and fight. I love the combos of like the combo attacks and just I don't know, the more active fighting style I guess was kind of the big thing with it too. But yeah, I would love that to come to Switch so I can finally sit down and beat it again. But again, I mean, I have so many ways to play it. I could play it right now if I really wanted to. It's just laziness. I would just like it to be on Switch so I can just power off and put it down and power back on and play.
Put it into sleep mode and just keep picking up right where you left off.
Save state, something. So
yeah.
That would be. I would love to hear that from Square.
Yeah.
That's really the only Square title I would care about. Final Fantasy VII. I would assume it's going to be a PS4 title. So.
Oh gosh, that is a
or
good question.
Is it a PS5 launch title? And they're not going to announce that yet, or maybe they will. Maybe Sony will have some sort of direct state of play during the week of E3.
I think based off just like when development started, it'd probably be a PS4 title now.
Yeah.
Or
it'll be a dual release like Nintendo does with all their Zelda games at the end of console.
I mean, it'll be, if PS5 is backwards compatible, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, it wouldn't matter. As long as it's backwards compatible, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, they showed
want to reach a bigger audience by making it PS4. So
they showed that the PS5 like load times. They showed like Spider-Man loading, and it was like PS5 was like boom, PS4 was boom. So it started, it's like like it was like 15-second delay or 8-second delay, something like that. So
Yeah.
so yeah, even if it is backwards compatible on each, I mean they've pretty much proven that it's just going to run better on the 5. So
Yep. So definitely can still see improvements even if it released now.
yeah.
But you reminded me, speaking of Chrono Trigger, I would love to see in Japan they had a Secret of Mana collection released,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
did that not get ported over here? Because we never got to play the Secret of Mana 2.
Or 3.
So I
There was a third one, wasn't there? Weren't there 3 of them? That's why it was a collection, or was it just the 2?
the game before Secret of Mana was like some other subtitle or something. It was a Game Boy game. So
Okay.
um, but yeah. Secret of Mana 2 is the one we never got to play.
Yeah, I've seen reproductions of it before, so but I've never
I've heard it's good. So
yeah.
so yeah, I'm really hopeful maybe that would happen because I think I saw somewhere where they renewed the trademark for like the English name of it. So maybe they're planning. Cross my fingers.
Yeah, there was something here about I just did a quick Google search on that, and yep, it's exactly what you said. Square Enix trademarked Final Fantasy Adventure, which was the Game Boy series, Mystic Quest, which was a Super Nintendo game that apparently people liked, but everyone said it's like super easy. It's like Final Fantasy easy mode. And then, which I remember my friend loved it as a kid. I remember he played it all the time. And then Secret of Mana, but all these trademarks were in Europe, so they're hinting that it might be released here. That's what you were getting at.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I'm hopeful. All we need is that translation and official release. So I don't see why not. It's just money waiting to be given.
yeah, and yeah, they're basing that off of like the success of Octopath Traveler is what this article I'm looking at right now says. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, JRPGs sell. Just
Yeah.
the people like them. So um, and that's a great way to do it. And then it doesn't make sense that they would have just released it, even if they just do it digital only. People will buy it still. So
Yep.
but
All right. Let us continue down the E3 hype train tunnel and get probably to the one we'll talk about the most here, which is June 11th, Nintendo.
yeah, so Nintendo's got a few things going on.
They have a lot of potential of what they could talk about, except for
Pokemon.
Pokemon is having a direct on June 5th, we should note. So more than likely, I mean, they could show a little bit of it, maybe even like gameplay during the treehouse, but I don't imagine it will be a main focus of the direct.
Yeah, so that's a week from today.
Yeah, next week.
So yeah, next Wednesday they'll have their direct for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see a little more gameplay of that and how it kind of is going to be the same probably.
Yeah, exactly. So, but outside of that, I mean, we already know that like the biggest games that are in development right now that claim to have a 2019 release, Luigi's Mansion 3,
Yep.
Animal Crossing,
Still says 2019. Yep.
Pokemon, and Link's Awakening.
Yep.
And Mario Maker, but that's.
And then Mario Maker will be out later that month, and Fire Emblem is in July.
Yeah,
so.
And then there's the Cadence of Hyrule.
Cadence of Hyrule, which is rumored to be coming up pretty soon.
July 20th. It was May 30th, but then the metadata changed to July 20th.
Okay.
That's what I saw today on Reddit.
Yeah, gotcha. And there's that Platinum game, Astral Chains, in August.
Oh yeah, forgot about that one.
I think there's still that Damon Machine X game.
Oh yeah, that got pushed back though. I think after all
Did it?
I remember them talking about it they said that it got. I remember people saying it got pushed back because of the. They did that demo where they sent people
Yeah,
surveys, and
and
apparently
so
it
that
just got like.
feedback got.
Yeah, people were just bored with it. Like they didn't know what to do, and they were just like, this doesn't interest me. Even though I thought it looked cool the first time I saw it, but it reminded me of
Yeah.
like Virtual On kind of, and I was just like, even though it looks cool, I probably won't play it, but
Yeah,
I,
I tried the demo and it was kind of confusing gameplay and like the mechs just felt slow and kind of boring.
I downloaded the
I
demo and I loaded it, but then like I think I was watching TV or something, and while everything was loading, I just laid the Switch down, and then something came up, and there was a bunch of text on the screen, and I was kind of like, I don't want to play this, and I turned it off.
but
So
I will give it credit. Like the style of it looked way more impressive than I anticipated. Like the customization of your character and the mechs, and just the presentation was pretty darn good. So
yeah,
I have hope for it, especially if they take all this feedback to heart. So
yeah. I mean, that's what it sounds like they're doing from
mhm.
from at least from what people have been saying online. So, but no.
Yeah. But for all this Nintendo talk, why don't we like break down our top 5 anticipations of what we want to see?
From Nintendo. All right.
More than likely. I mean, you can throw in other anticipations if there's something else you're excited for that we've skipped over from the other.
So I think the thing I'm looking forward to the most is getting the official release date of Link's Awakening. I love that game, and I'm hoping that if they are gonna do any like special editions or amiibo, which I feel like amiibo's dead since they're not
it
putting it into Mario Maker,
it does seem like they're slowly killing it off.
which is fine by me
But
since I got rid of all mine. But um, it would just be interesting to see if they do like the windfish egg statue or
yeah.
something. It's just something, or they do like um, they put like Marin in Smash or something
Oh my
stupid. Like you know what I
gosh.
mean? Like, and then they do an amiibo for Marin like that. I don't know. That'd be kind of interesting, but um, that's probably my most anticipated thing, just because I'm ready to play that game again,
Yeah.
updated. So
Yeah.
hold on one second. I gotta pause because the dog just walked in and he's chewing stuff. So all right. Anyway, um, so it wouldn't have been a problem, but he started chewing on everything.
Yeah.
He's chewing on a water bottle that was on the ground. So, and of course, it's like the crunchiest thing in the room, just crunch, crunch. So, all right, no, but one thing I think that I'm hopeful for, it would make sense for them to announce, but I don't think they will, just because why would they? It's Nintendo. Super Nintendo games for Nintendo Switch Online.
Okay. Yeah.
With
Yeah.
the renewals coming up in September, it would make sense to push that, especially with Mario Maker coming, and people would buy the extra package for the online, and I think it would make people be a little happier with their purchase because people are still upset about it, especially with the Mario Maker not having friends play and a couple other things.
Mhm.
So I think that would be a pleasant surprise to have them because they're coming. They have to come.
Yeah.
You know.
It, I would expect it to come at some point, and E3 would definitely be a good place to announce it. And there was that like supposed like metadata that was mine that seemed to hint that they
Oh yeah,
were
yeah.
coming.
I forgot about
So
that. And then they
yeah,
disappeared after the last like
yeah,
one of
yeah.
the version updates. So
So
so that would be
that could
cool.
definitely be a possibility.
Um so that's that the Microsoft Nintendo relationship would be interesting to see if anything comes out of that on their end, which we kind of talked about earlier with Rare Replay and Banjo
Mhm.
and Smash, stuff like that, or the Project X Cloud going to Switch. So
Mhm.
it'll be interesting to see if there's anything from that. I'm kind of I'm interested in that myself. I would love to see Metroid Prime 4, which
I don't know.
I could see them maybe giving us a teaser,
A small
just a
teaser.
small teaser that's
Yeah.
more than a logo.
More than a logo.
But since
Yeah, but
it was like the end of last year when they announced that it was scrapped and going to Retro Studios.
mhm.
I don't know. Maybe a Prime trilogy.
I think like the one hope of seeing Prime 4 is that there were rumors that like Retro had originally pitched like a trailer to Nintendo, but they weren't selected. So maybe now that it's gone back to Retro, they'd have something ready to kind of show
Yeah.
for their vision of it. But yeah, definitely Prime Collection could definitely be a possibility because those aren't short games; those are long games, and with three of them, you don't want to give players time to play it until Prime 4 is ready.
Yeah, I'd love to play it with better controls because like I've only played the first one, and the third one, and I played the first one on GameCube, and some of those battles are a little difficult to control.
Yeah,
I
I
got used to
mean,
it, but
they made it work for what it was at the time.
yeah, it definitely
Yeah.
works. But I'd love to play it like twin stick or
Oh man.
or on an emulator with a mouse and keyboard. That would be preferred, but every time I've tried it, it doesn't work out. So, um, but other than that, the only thing else that I could see being a big surprise would be like a new IP or like which I don't even know what, just something because there was that thing from Retro with Reggie with
And
the
that's
little.
my number one
Oh
anticipation.
yeah. Sorry to steal your thunder there.
Oh no, it's okay.
So you've got the little hand that was kind of shown, but that's from Retro. I mean, I don't know what would come from that, but maybe that's the game that they were working on before Metroid Prime. But
I definitely
um,
think there's something that they were working on before that would be ready for release. Like they have not been sitting on their butts for the past 6 years since Tropical Freeze. They have to have something to
well, they
show.
had the port Tropical Freeze too. um,
They're capable of so much more.
but other than that, other than like a new game, like an actual new IP or a like a game from like a forgotten franchise, like a Kid Icarus or something to that effect. I could
Oh
see.
man, ooh, Kid Icarus would be great. I'd love to see that again, or even just a port of the 3DS one.
Yeah, the Uprising. I heard it's
Because
really good.
yeah, the game is great. Although the controls just cramp your hand on the 3DS, like have a capable version of that game would be so good.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Outside of that, I think the only thing that would be just a big surprise and everyone would kind of lose their mind over would be like a N64 classic that had like again if the partnership with Microsoft is there, you kind of have to
Yeah,
have it. You kind of have to have all those rare titles in order to make that
sure.
happen because um, you know Perfect Dark, GoldenEye. Um,
I made a list of like games I
there's
thought would be great for the
you
N64. Let me see.
Banjo Conquers like there's a lot of
So
stuff.
yeah, for third-party games, you got GoldenEye,
Diddy
Diddy Kong
Kong
Racing.
Racing, yes,
Oh
Diddy Kong
man,
Racing, so good.
Banjo-Kazooie, Harvest Moon 64, Bomberman 64. There are some really fun games for
Yeah,
N64.
so I don't know if we'll ever get an N64 Classic, but if that was announced, I think that would right now N64 is like the hottest retro console, and it comes that way because of just age groups. People who
Yeah.
have disposable income, they grew up with N64, they want to go back to playing it now. And then they realize that it looks like garbage on a new TV. So without it being upscaled properly and having scan lines and stuff like that, it just doesn't work right. So, um, yeah, it'd be interesting. I personally think that like a lot of N64 emulation in the past has not been very good, and maybe that's why they're not doing it. But they re-released a bunch of N64 games on the Wii and the Wii U Virtual
Yeah,
Console. So
and it worked.
and it works.
So
So I think it'd be neat. I don't know how many games we'd get out of it, and the games you would get would likely be the best 10 games anyway for that system, because there's only about 10 10
oh,
good
there's
games
there's more than that.
on the
There's
N64.
more.
I don't know about that. There's not that many good games on that
You got
system.
Mario 64. You got Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. You got Paper Mario. You got Mario Kart and
Mario
the
Party, the
Mario
originals.
Party games. Yeah. You've got Pokemon Snap. You've got Wave Race. You've got
Wave Race would be
there's
a cool game for them to
Star
come back
Fox
to.
64. Got
Yeah, Star Fox 64 is good. But
yeah.
yeah, so they could do like a collection of like 15, and it'd be it'd be all the good
Yeah,
games.
I don't imagine it will be like as many as the Super Nintendo and NES classics were, just because.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's 20. I think they could do 15 or 20. I think that'd be a nice
Yeah.
number. And
I'm guessing around 15.
oh, and maybe it could be the. Oh wait, hold on. They could do the unreleased version of Mother 64 that never was done, just the prototype, with the announcement of Mother 3 coming to Switch.
Your other 30th anniversary.
There you go. That's
All
it.
right.
It's confirmed. You heard it here first.
You know what? I'm just gonna jump into my prediction.
Yeah, do yours. Yeah, I'm done. So
straight into my number 4 pick, which is Mother 3. It's coming. This is the year.
It has to.
I am so cool.
Mother 3 is to you as Half-Life 3 is to me.
I want to play it so bad. Like,
but you can play it. You just can't pay to play it.
Legitly.
That's their fault, though.
Like, I don't know if you like paid attention to like how they added extra characters into Ness's and Lucas's Final Smashes in Ultimate. Like Ness has Paula and Pooh like joined behind him, and then for Lucas, he has the 2 characters from Mother 3 join him. I'm like, oh my gosh, that seeing them rendered in such loving detail. Like, I want to play and love you.
And nobody in America who hasn't emulated it knows who those 2 characters are, or even knows who Lucas is. That's the craziest thing to me.
Back. I know. It's so crazy.
That's the craziest thing to me. Like, I get the game. You know, they shouldn't release a game with characters that are local, region only. Like, I don't. It just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever. They've got to.
They're gonna fix it all. They're gonna fix it all.
They just need to release Mother Collection
anniversary, and there's that rumor that even maybe Porky in some form will be added to Smash. I don't know, as a character or as some extra mode or something, but he's clearly absent in it right now, and it's too important a character not to be in it. So
he'll be an assist trophy that just gets beat. And it'll make that like bang noise when he gets beat every time.
But yeah, what else? We kind of talked about Retro Studios already with the little robot arm. I think there's a lot of credence to last year's rumor that they were working on that Star Fox Grand Prix game. Like, everyone was mentioning that, and the fact that so many people were reporting on it, I feel like there's some truth to it. I don't know. So maybe it just got delayed a little bit. They're still working on it. I think that's a possibility, but they're definitely showing something at this E3, and I can't wait. And then a game I'm excited for that you probably don't care too much about, Animal Crossing.
Sorry.
I can't wait. And it's okay. It's not for everyone, but Animal Crossing, my jam. It's just so relaxing and assuring, having a game that I can just go to every single day and just chill out.
I did see something on Reddit today. People were complaining about the Nintendo Switch Online, and one of the comments was like, but they give me Nintendo games, and the guy goes, yeah, they give you Nintendo games that I got for free in Animal Crossing for GameCube, and it had like the list of all of them. It was like 15 of the games that are on Nintendo Switch Online. I was like,
That
that's
was
hilarious.
crazy.
That's
That
pretty
was
cool.
crazy.
When I hear
was
stuff like
the
that,
coolest little Easter egg. Yeah.
I hear little stuff like that, and it makes me want to play the game. But then, like, I don't know. Honestly, I've never played it. It just does not look interesting to me at all. Like just seeing the.
It doesn't look like it would be, but I don't know. You find something that clicks with you, be it like trying to fish and get all the fish, or fill up your museum with like collectibles, or just decorating your house. I don't know. I don't know why,
It
but
just seems
there's
weird. It's like I collect
it
enough
is.
in my real life. I don't need to collect a bunch of in my virtual life.
I don't know.
So
It's weird. It's a weird game, but like the animals have such like endearing personalities, and like the writing is so witty, and just like the fact that it runs in real time and changes in real time is so cool. Like it has its own weather system and holidays, and like certain bugs and fish only come out during certain times of day, and you're like, what is this giant shadow? Oh my gosh, this fish is like the size of me.
and then you catch it and it's a tire.
And that happens sometimes.
Does it? Nice.
Yes.
Excellent. Maybe I will have to play this game so I can catch tires.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this, especially on the Switch, because I think that's like the perfect console for it. Like, I love the handheld aspect, like being able to play whenever, just because it runs in real time. But I also like being able to play on my TV and being able to see like all in high res glory. So I think this is the best of both worlds. Like, if it looks like anything like how they rendered Animal Crossing and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, like, I want to see something of that caliber. I'm excited.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking forward to the Smash DLC. I know they're going to show some of that, and just who they're going to show is very exciting.
Yeah,
Especially since it could be anybody.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I know we've talked about like predictions, and the only thing that comes to my mind is Banjo, and I feel like that's such a safe bet because we've talked about it so many times about like his moveset would be perfect. He is a former Nintendo character, the Microsoft relationship, but then it's like, okay, but who else could it be? Literally, it could be anyone in gaming. Like Pac-Man's in the game, for God's sakes. Like, I would have never have thought Pac-Man would have been added to Smash last time. Like, and then you go from there, and you've got Cloud. Like, Cloud gets added too last time, and then you got Snake from Metal Gear Solid. Like, it was in there before, and it's just you never know what genre, what company, what they can do. So I really think that Banjo's the safe bet.
He's definitely one of the most requested characters.
Yeah.
Being from Microsoft, it would still be an unexpected character, so it'd be a very fun pick.
It'll be the Minecraft guy.
Yeah, no, gosh, please no. But yeah, I've been racking my brain trying to think of possibilities, and one of the things I'm having the hardest time trying to think of is I feel like a lot of people's predictions, if you look at them, there's not much female gamer representation. So I was trying to think of like, I was thinking Lara Croft.
Were you?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It could totally work.
One of the most iconic female protagonists in gaming.
Yeah.
And she would have a very cool moveset. So.
Yeah, and they have people with guns in the game already, and that's like her trademark, or the dualies. So.
Or if they don't want to use the gun version of Laura, they could do like the
bow arrow, yeah, from the last,
and her pickaxe and stuff.
Yeah, so. That's right. I mean, I'm thinking of, I only played Tomb Raider,
but yeah,
classic like the first two.
Laura with the double pistols.
Yeah, that's like I played Tomb Raider on Sega Saturn, and that was like the only one I played a lot of. Kill the T-Rex. It was like, yes.
But yeah, there's so many possibilities, and I think they'll definitely announce one, if not maybe even two characters, just with the pace that they're going.
Well, they've only announced one so far and released one, and they said there's what, 5 more or 4 more?
There's 4 more coming, but by February 2020. So they
So
really need to pick up the pace.
yeah,
I could feasibly see maybe 2 being announced at E3, maybe even 1 being shadow dropped.
it'll be like it'll be a game where there's like it'll be like Fire Emblem characters from the new Fire Emblem. Because
That's a possibility too.
every
Yeah,
Fire
no,
Emblem character gets added. So.
it could definitely be a Fire Emblem or maybe even one of the new Pokemon. So
Yeah, that's true.
those are 2 standbys that they like to go to. So
Yeah. So
as long as it's not that dumb monkey, I don't know. That monkey doesn't excite me.
that's funny.
And my last anticipation, which I feel is the least likely to happen, but I still think there's a small chance. Show us something from the new Zelda that they're working on. You know they're cooking. They could do it.
I don't
They
think
could
so.
tease.
I don't like to burst your bubble, but because I would love it as well, but I just don't think.
What a way to end the show it would be.
Oh, it'd be huge. It'd be huge, especially if it ends like again with the Sword and Shield. Miyamoto
Yeah.
comes out.
I
No,
don't
it's
expect
on a
it this
direct,
year,
but
but here's the thing: like between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, they were able to make that in a mindset of less than 2 years
that's true.
using the same engine.
Yeah, but
Which
Majora's Mask was like I don't know. I personally didn't like it until it was remade on 3DS, but and I know a lot of people didn't like Majora's Mask either. So now it's kind of beloved, but
mhm.
I feel like I don't know. I don't know what they'd do. It would be awesome. I think we've gotten a lot of Zelda recently though.
That's the biggest caveat holding this back. Like, there's a lot of Zelda being announced already, but
But there's not though at the same time. Like there's the
if
Cadence of Hyrule, which was like very random,
mhm,
and then
and then a remake,
the remake
which
of the Game Boy game. So
yeah.
which
So if a new Zelda was to be ready by next year, which would be 3+ years since Breath of the Wild came out, I could see them maybe just showing a hint of it, like concept art or like here's a sneak peek of what's coming, because they advertised Breath of the Wild for like ever. I don't expect them to advertise next Zelda that long, but it's time to maybe start showing it if it's going to be ready soon. And that's why I say there's a small chance. It's a very small chance.
yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't. I would love it, of course. I just don't. I I have to hold my excitement back on that, especially after the way Breath of the Wild was. Even Twilight Princess, like
Yeah.
I remember pre-ordering Twilight Princess on GameCube, and then the day they announced the Wii, I went and changed my pre-order, and then, but at least that was a launch title. I'm trying to think when did they announce that for Breath of the Wild? When was that first announced?
I'm pretty sure it was announced at E3. I forget which one though. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm looking as well.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
2016.
That's not right.
No, that's not right.
I'm just gonna go to the
Oh no,
wiki real
there it is.
quick.
There it is. So it looks like it was in
J-
2013.
yeah, 2013.
So 2013, and then in 2014 E3, that's when they showed the trailer of Link getting chased by the Guardian.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
it.
at the end of it, it said 2015, and then the game didn't come out for another 2 years. It was like, oh man.
But that's what makes this possible. Like, they have a tendency to announce stuff way earlier than it should be ready.
That's true. I mean,
And
it
it's
was
been over 2 E3 since they had any Breath of the Wild like stuff shown.
Yeah. Yeah, so think about that. January 2013 was the first time they showed it. So then that game took 4 years to come out, but that was also due to a new console coming out.
Yeah,
Because if the Switch never came out, it would have just been released on the Wii. It probably would have been released on the
it
Wii
probably would
U
have
much
been
earlier.
2016.
Yeah,
Yeah, if it wasn't for the Switch.
yeah, but
Um,
they knew what they had to do, and they
but
knew that.
now they don't have that like obstacle. They're working on one console. They might even be using the same engine, more than likely. I
Yeah.
feel like
Mm,
either next year or the year after, it's probably coming.
it's possible.
2020 or 2021. I think we're ready.
Yeah.
And they're gonna want that Zelda money. It like made so much. They don't want to rest on their laurels.
Yeah, but they also but they know that Link's Awakening's gonna sell
Yeah, I don't
huge
expect
too.
it this
So
year. Yeah.
no, I know it's not gonna come out this year. I don't know. I don't know if they'll announce it this year. I think they'll announce if they announce it. I think it'll be a next year announce or
Okay.
like end of the
Okay.
year this year.
I
I
almost had you on board here.
I mean the timing makes sense, but I just think there's too much Zelda. Like I mean, not that
Yes.
there can
Yeah.
never be too much Zelda, but um I don't know. I think the timing's good, but I think next year will be the better because next year we'll be over the hump of Link's Awakening, Bayonetta 3, Luigi's Mansion 3, Animal Crossing, Pokemon, and then it's like, well, what's next? Here's the new Zelda, and then they'll give us the 2021 launched.
Dude, just imagine a year of like Metroid Prime 4 and the new Zelda like at the same time.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah, that'd be
ooh,
awesome. And like,
that'd be a year.
yeah, so it'll yeah, I don't see that happening, but that would be a hell of a way to end the show, for sure. That would be ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
so I guess that covers it for Nintendo, huh?
Yeah, and that's pretty much all the big conferences.
Yeah, the
I
one.
guess we should mention Sony's not there.
Yeah, we talked
Uh,
though just for a second about that. So I think they're gonna do a. I think they'll do a video or something that week. Their Nintendo Directs or State of Plays or whatever.
it's certainly still possible, and they still are releasing like big news randomly. Just today, as of May 29th, they released a 9-minute release date trailer for Death Stranding, which is one of their biggest anticipated games. Kojima lovers.
Yeah,
Looks so weird to me.
and they've been showing that at E3 like every
But yeah,
year for like the
every
last
year
like
that's been
4 or 5
yeah.
years or whatever. So
So maybe they'll randomly drop videos for some of these other big anticipated games like Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah, and they showed a lot of like there was a lot of VR stuff that they showed during their like first State of Play, and they might have something to go more in depth for that. I mean, regardless of them not being there, Nintendo's there, but Nintendo still doesn't do a conference. But yet they
True.
still dump all their information. They're just there to
Yeah.
basically have the demos for the people to go
Yeah.
play and check out the environment and stuff.
They still have like the treehouse thing.
Yeah, the
Cool.
treehouse stuff's there, but
Yeah.
I could see Sony doing like a video,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
They just haven't announced it, and it's just gonna be like a tune in tomorrow for Sony's this, or we're just
Yeah.
gonna get all the Sony news through like the Square Enix or the Ubisoft or the through those other developers because Sony's not gonna announce anything directly from them.
Mm.
But one other thing that we need to add, and we don't know why, apparently the cast of The Simpsons
Ooh.
is going to
Yeah.
be at E3 on the 11th as well.
Oh man.
For like a panel or something. So nobody knows why the Simpsons are going to be at E3. There's rumor that it's going to be like a mobile game or something.
Oh please no.
Like Homer Tapped Out or something like that. But of course, everyone wants Hit and Run remastered or Hit and Run 2, which I haven't played, but I've heard is awesome.
Oh,
I have
so
it.
fun.
I have it. I think I have it on PS2. I don't think I have it on GameCube. But
It's Simpsons meets Crazy Taxi. Like, what's more to love?
is that the one that's Crazy Taxi, or is that the one that's like GTA? Simpsons Road Rage is the one like Crazy Taxi, and Hit and Run I
Okay,
think
yeah,
is the
yeah.
one. I thought Hit and Run was like the Grand Theft Auto one.
Yeah, Hit and Run is a little more correct. I mean, a lot of the missions are very just like racing or dropping off people still, but
Gotcha. Yeah, I need
yeah.
to play it. Like I bought it. I bought it like I don't know, almost a year ago probably, and it's just sitting on my shelf over there, and haven't haven't fired it up. Same with Futurama for PS2. Never fired that up. I'm a horrible gamer. but
Uh,
but yeah, so they'll be there too. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of that because The Simpsons is way past their prime, and it probably should have been put down years ago. But I love it, and I will always love it. At least
yeah.
there's always a part of me that'll enjoy The Simpsons, regardless of how bad it is claimed to be lately. But
Lately, yeah, but nostalgia is a powerful thing, and it can always just play off the past, and we'll love it.
I mean, 10 seasons. I mean, you've got like 250 episodes that are still gold.
Yes.
So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I guess that pretty much wraps up E3. That what we know about right now and what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, so even with Sony missing in action and some of the other developers maybe not being as interesting, there's I think a lot to look forward to.
Yeah,
I'm getting pretty hyped.
there's a lot to look forward to. I think most people that complain right now, it's going to be different because you have this, you have Google doing their what was it called? Stadia,
Uh,
Google
Stadia,
Stadia
Stadia.
streaming. You've got Microsoft looking at the streaming aspect. Really, the
Yeah.
only upcoming console that we have any information about is the PS5. So,
Even that's
and
pretty vague.
we're at the end of PS4's life essentially.
Mhm.
We're at the end of Xbox life. The Switch is going strong still, but that's the let's face it. I mean, the Switch is as popular as it is because it's a handheld that can compete with these consoles based on its power, its specs, and it's not as good, but it's good enough where the games still look pretty, they're still playable on the go or docked. So that's really the biggest reason why the Switch is, you know, so interesting.
Mhm.
Um,
Honestly, it's like the more preferred way of upgrading a console than streaming and whatnot. Like the versatility of the Switch is way I see the future of gaming. Just like make gaming easier in that regards
yeah,
to share and play wherever.
yeah. So I think that's really just what it is right now. It's like we're in this lull of gaming. Like E3, usually the big hype around E3 is when there's a new console announcement, or like the
Yeah,
year Xbox and PS4 both announced what everything was, and they're both coming out like within a week of each other. Like that was people were going nuts for that stuff, and then
it's fun, but it's also them just touting a lot of like texts and specs, and I'm
flops.
like,
How many flops do you have?
I'm like, just get to the games.
Yeah, it's like watching an Apple keynote where they're talking about like this is built with this technology, and it's like, okay, what does my A10 processor do for me? I can go on Facebook faster. So, but yeah, so I don't know. I think that's really where all the you know E3 this E3 is very focused on games.
And that's why I'm
And that's
excited.
yeah, it should be good. I mean, it's always on games, but a lot of the times you have the hardware come in and kind of
Mhm.
take over. Even when they announce their like Microsoft might even talk about their digital only thing that they released a couple months ago. I mean, just to try to like push it more. They might give you like a
Or
deal, like buy it now and get $100 in free digital store credit or something, like some E3 deal or something. You never know, but
or maybe they'll announce an Xbox Mini.
yeah, yeah, right. Xbox Mini with Halo, but it
Everybody's
comes,
got to get
but it
on
comes with the Duke controller.
it. Just a
it's
huge.
it's a console this big with the controllers massive.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be too much. That'd be too much. But hey, everyone's doing it. The new Sega one's coming out in September, and it's gonna be awesome. And I know you're not the Sega guy, but this one seems like they're actually doing it right with a good company behind them that's doing the emulation and other than giving us the 3-button controllers because those things sucked. They're doing a good job. At least the game list is killer. The game list is killer right now. Although some of the games I'm looking forward to are like Castlevania Bloodlines, but I can also just pick up the Castlevania collection, which just came out on Switch last week, so I could always grab that. There's some really good titles on that. Famicom versions of the game too. They have better music and stuff like that. And then Konami also announced the Contra collection. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we might get
Cool.
some news about that at E3. I mean, we already have it, but they might show a trailer of it or something. Because the Contra collection looks cool. I mean, they're gonna have like Game Boy games, and that's the same way that the Castlevania collection has Game Boy games, and it has Kid Dracula on it.
Yep.
Which I don't know, was it the NES version or the Game Boy version of Kid Dracula? Do you know?
I don't know.
I mean, it's out. I should check it out. I need to grab that because there's too many good games on there. So, but yeah, the Contra collection should be good too because it's got Alien Wars, the first one, Super C, Operations, all that. The arcade game too, which the arcade game's weird because it's vertical shooter, or it's a vertical screen. So it'll be interesting to see how that translates to the Switch. But yeah, that was just some little tidbits that I remembered that came out this past week or were announced this week. And the Resident Evil games were released, but they're way too expensive for what they are. $30 a game.
That seems to be the trend.
Yeah, Capcom's really like screwing people on those releases.
Well, yeah, they're expensive, but they usually have sales pretty frequently, so I don't blame them as much. I'm more upset with like all the Square Final Fantasy games that are like being charged $60. I'm like,
yeah. There's no way I would pay $60 or even $40 to get like Final Fantasy 9. Or
I'm tempted to pick up 12, but not at $60.
I heard it's good, but I heard $60 for a game that you can get for like 15 on every other console.
I know.
So it's kind of crazy, but oh well. I guess that kind of wraps it up, I think, for this episode.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can get in another episode with Pokemon or other news in between, but if not, probably we'll be giving you live E3 coverage.
Yeah, not about live E3
or something.
coverage.
I don't know.
maybe that's what we should do. We should take a day.
At least a Nintendo conference, we should like take off and watch together or something.
Yeah, we'll have to see. My leave is like destroyed after my vacation, so. But yeah, we can see about that. Take a day.
You'll be working from home that day. Just make that your lunch break. I'll come over.
Is it a Tuesday?
It's Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're a bad influencer. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe do that. It's coming up quick, so if I'm gonna do it, I need to figure that out. It's kind of hard to do that nowadays with the baby and getting sick and stuff.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure I have leave to take care of him if anything. So, but yeah, with that.
We'll have some coverage of some sort.
Yeah, we'll have a recap episode at least and see how far off we were on all of our, hopes and dreams, and
how many of them were crushed.
And we'll be back to talk about how awesome Half-Life 3 looked.
Another 3, the year of 3s.
Yes, it's gonna happen. So, With that, my camera's been flickering in and out all episodes, so
All right.
I apologize
We
for
will call
that.
this. No, it's all good. And yeah, I guess until next time, guys. Happy gaming.
See ya.